a whole lot. Trial, tribulation, but I know God.
Hey, Reg here, and this is Jack, and I want to welcome you back to the blog. It's day 51 of my 60-day raw food challenge and the return of the fruitarian. Those of you who've been following along, you know that I was in Detroit for about 5 days, and I had some challenges while I was there. And so yesterday I made the drive back. I did it in a single day, which again was very challenging. I brought a cooler bag of vegetables and fruits with me, which made it possible. It was a much easier trip back than getting there, but I did, I sort of reintroduced caffeine, and I did end up getting a few cups of coffee on my trip. Now I was driving back. It's a 9-hour drive. I'm obviously aware of the impact that cars have on the environment. Something that I noticed was a lot of deer carcasses along the highway. And I've done this trip many times over the past few years, and I don't recall really ever seeing so many. It was rare, or if ever, that I saw a deer carcass. And it occurs to me that deer living in these areas have a limited supply of food, and when they run out, they have to go searching outside of the safe wooded areas and venture, risking harm, or they just don't get enough food and they starve. And regardless, I wonder if having a deer along the highway, rotting, is worse from a moral perspective than a hunter shooting a deer. And I think about the fact that the indigenous people on this continent hunted deer, and was that immoral? Were they evil? And of course, it was when Europeans came and massacred the people that had been on this continent for tens of thousands of years, perhaps, that we developed the society which makes any of our modern lives possible, for better or worse. So a lot of the damage has been done. Human beings have developed in a way that we destroy the natural environment, or at least our environment displaces the natural habitats of other species. Even if we choose to live simply as to have the least impact on the world around us, we still benefit from spaces and activities that are detrimental to the life of other species. Every time we use electricity, regardless of the method that we use, it's likely fossil fuels were used at some stage in the delivery of that system or of the power itself. If you ride a bike, the roads you use displace and likely cause the death of other life forms. So maintaining civilization often comes with violent strings attached, and history offers plenty of examples of societies being established through violence. The peaceful lives that many people try to live now, certainly in Western society, are made possible through violence and are maintained through an ongoing campaign of violence in many parts of the world towards animals and humans every day. And so some people think that the logical response is to just hate all humans, to be misanthropic. And participating in society that benefits from violence by wishing violence on everyone else is just not productive. You're a participant. You're here. You're in the game. So either you have to get with it or get out, right? Or do something about it to change it. So it seems to me that it would be more useful to develop an alternative system. Work towards the development of an alternative system that would work for everyone, and then others will buy into that alternative system. And to do that, it requires a willingness to be critical of the current system at all levels, not just at the one or two where you find it convenient, like, oh, I'm going to make some changes over there because that works for me, but I'm going to ignore everything else, even though those things are really tied together. That's not really useful. Self-criticism is also necessary as part of that. It also requires creativity to be able to envision new systems. And creativity is something that can be developed through practice, and it requires testing those systems in the commons where they can be subjected to wider criticism, not just sort of doing things for yourself in this one space and saying, oh, this is great, but to test those things in the open where we can see, are they scalable to a level that they would work for a majority of people. It also requires being able to work collaboratively, and understanding that it's not about one person figuring everything out on their own, but it's when we work collectively to solve problems that we develop solutions that work for the group. And then, finally, it's understanding that this is an ongoing process. There's no finish line for it. The answer for today may not be the answer for tomorrow, and we just need to be open-minded even when we're convinced that we're just dead right. Nothing is absolute. So that's it. Those are my thoughts for today. My music, I want to recommend ZHU. I don't know if it's Zoo. ZHU is the group or the artist, and the song that I'm recommending is their single that dropped on October 8th, Hold Up, Wait a Minute. It's just fun. It's just fun, right? With all this stuff, none of these things are particularly family friendly, but some of them are. This one is, I think it's pretty mild in terms of its content. So, go ahead and enjoy it, give it a listen, share it with your friends. That's it for today. I am going to check out, and Jack's going to check out too. Again, this is day 51 of my 60-day raw food challenge. Love yourself. Peace.
And I love myself.
The world is a ghetto with big guns